All right, welcome into Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, we are on the app as well, and catch all the great content from a ton of podcasts right there at 1010XL.com or on the app as they're archived there. We're also live on Facebook, 1010XL's Facebook page. Good morning to you, and my own personal Facebook page. Good morning to everybody out there. Hope you had a great weekend and your week is off to a great start. This show brought to you by my friends at the Carpet Man. Not only luxury vinyl planking, but all types of flooring. Been doing it for a long time. You're not going to get better quality, better service at the lowest prices other than at the Carpet Man. Check them out. And, of course, I'm here in the 1010 XL Studios. Want to thank everybody that came out Friday night to Whiskey Jack's in Atlantic Beach and watched the Dad Bods perform. We had a blast. So much fun. A lot of dancing, a lot of good times. And we appreciate everybody coming out. It was such a good time. Of course, the draft is finally over. I guess I shouldn't say finally. It does. Look, from Thursday, on through the weekend, it's all about the draft. Look, we had a lot of picks. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, it's, 6th round on. I know, what's going to happen with these guys. You don't. Those are more crapshoots than anything. Doesn't mean they're not very good football players. Doesn't mean they're not going to make the team. None of that. I'm not saying any of that. But, you can't tell me, Christian Broswell, the DB from Rutgers, I can't sit there and be like, yeah, this kid, he's going to be really good. Maybe he is. Obviously, they grab him in the 6th round, one of 3 picks in the 6th round, another DB out of Pittsburgh. But I will tell you this. First of all, it was funny how the draft went down. And good morning, Graham Marsh. How are you, my man?
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you. Doing all right?
Oh, fantastic. Did you announce the Brenton Strange pick on stage?
You know what? I did. I totally forgot. I think I commented on it, but I didn't do it live. No. No. We were too geeked up on our own music, man. It was pretty awesome. We had a great time, great crowd. But nonetheless, here we are. We come in on Friday after the Anton Harrison picks made Thursday night. We're thinking, all these picks, he's going to be moving, and shaking, doing all.
Wheeling and dealing.
Give me 7. And nothing was happening, supposedly. Trent Baalke, who says, look, we're not done yet building this team, which I like hearing. We'll get into that in a minute. But tried those trades on day 2 and day 3 and had no takers. Good morning, Mark. How are you? Good morning, everybody. Appreciate it. What's up, Tim? But no trades. Couldn't move up. Couldn't get anything done. I tell you, the one that really just... And look, Brenton Strange, I didn't watch a lot of Penn State football, but what you hear about him, he's good after the catch. He's a tough kid. He can run a little bit. I'm confident in Doug, hence the shirt like that. Another Caribbean Connection favorite. In Doug, we trust. I wore it on purpose, right? Because I'm going to trust them in their draft class because they know more than I know. At least at this point, I can confidently say that. The thing about Strange, look, he could turn out, look, we need another tight end. That's fine. I didn't think we needed one that high, but whatever. They know better than I do. Of course, they're still trying to sign Ingram to a long-term deal, and we'll see how that goes. I think it'll happen. But that one with Osiris Torrance going 2 before Brenton Strange. Oh, my gosh, can we get up and get to
And Osiris was there.
I know.
Until they traded back.
Yeah, I know. He was there. I wonder why they didn't jump on that. Because I'll tell you this, Buffalo got themselves a hell of a football.
That killed me.
Are you kidding me? He's going to love it up there. They're going to love him. He's going to maul people.
And they needed a guard desperately, too.
Yeah,
you'd think the interior of their offensive line has been a liability for like 2 years now.
Well, I mean, look, last year they played pretty well. You can't say they didn't. And Shatley was their guard a lot of the time.
No, I'm not talking about the Jaguars. I'm talking about the Bills.
Oh, the Bills. Yeah, the Bills.
Like, they filled a huge need.
They definitely needed a interior position.
Jags interior has been pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. But this would have been a good pick, no doubt about it. But they don't go that route, so we go with Brenton Strange, the kid out of Penn State. We'll see if we know that the tight end, if I'm him, I'm excited because I'm going to Doug Peterson's offense, and the tight end is always highlighted. And look, if he can, I'm sure they're going to come up with some great formations, great plays to get the kid open and give him a chance. So that'll be good. The Tank Bigsby, look, he's a beast. I get it. I I don't know. I guess I saw where Doug Peterson commented about Snoop Connor, but you're like, you didn't even use him last year. Like, he was supposed to be your what did he do? He scored touchdowns in college, right? That's all we heard. Downhill runner, touchdown maker. But you never saw him on the field. I'm assuming Tank Bigsby is going to get on the field.
Yes,
as a third pick.
Snoop may need to be on ZipRecruiter looking for
I agree.
For some jobs.
Well, Doug makes those comments. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect. I don't think Doug would say that if he didn't believe. He's like, look, it's an opportunity for Snoop to show. Look, no doubt, he's got a big. I tell you this: when you're a player at a position and they drafted that position, trust me, you feel it. You feel it big time. I remember in 90, was it 7 or 8, and me and Brian Schwartz had, like, he got hurt, I started, I got hurt, he started. He started to start with in 95, then he got hurt, then I jumped in, then, so here we are going into, maybe it was 99, and I want to say Andy Katzenmoyer was the linebacker coming out of Ohio State, and we were picking like 27th, and he was there. And I remember myself going, oh, man, if they pick him, I'm really in an uphill battle and I wanted to start. It wasn't just to make the team, right? But he passed. And that said, and Coughlin came out and said, he's like, look, we've got Schwartz, we got McManus. We're okay at that position. But it does matter when they drafted your position. Now, not if you're a star player, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? But if you're fighting, for a job, like if you're Chason, who they declined his fifth-year option. By the way, Isaiah Simmons I thought that kid was going to be a hell of a player coming out of college. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option out in Arizona. Patrick Queen, who we all thought was a stud backer for the Ravens, they didn't pick up his option. There are other guys.
That one surprises me.
That does, but
the Patrick Queen surprises me.
They bring in Roquan Smith. Maybe that's, they don't much need him anymore. I just saw Simmons was going to be a better player.
I did too. A lot of those tweener guys struggle in the league, though.
Well, look, I still think with Chason, they had him out of position. They forced him into that defensive end/edge. He never did that in college. He was off the ball, moving around, playing. I think you could play him at maybe not here, but play him at will linebacker or maybe even Sam, and I think he could be a nice football player. I do. I think Chason's got enough, but not if you're going to count on him just to rush the passer. It's not his skill set, and I know they forced him into it, which I never totally understood that, but he's got a lot to prove. Of course, Ventrell Miller, I like that pick. Look, I don't know. I don't sit there and grade these kids, right? But I know this. When I watch Florida, number 51 made plays. Always around the ball, making plays. I'll tell you another guy. You won't. The kid from Texas A&M, Antonio Johnson. I didn't watch a ton of Texas A&M, but when I did, 27 was all over the damn field making plays. So, look, I can't say I watch Yasir Abdullah a ton out of Louisville, but I do know he can get after the QB. He led the ACC in what? Pressures or hits? Pressures are subjective. Don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about them. But that says a lot when you're leading the league or the conference in doing that. So I really like Ventrell Miller. Lacey's supposed to be a really tough, big defensive end from Oklahoma State. I haven't watched a lot of him. And then Abdullah and Johnson. I think those four, those are nice picks. I think they're going to be good, solid football picks. I don't care about value anymore. I know I'm in the minority here, right? I don't sit there and be like, oh, I don't care if you draft him too early, too late, whatever. If he ends up being a ball player, it's a great pick. You know what I mean? I don't get into it. And eventually that status wears down for me. Even in the first round, whatever. If I draft you as a tackle and you end up in the first round and you end up being my guard and you're an awesome guard, I don't care. As a fan, as a former player fan, I don't care about that. That just as long as they're ball players. And look, we'll see about the rest. Parker Washington, I saw what their head coach put out there, steal the draft. Of course, he's pumping them up, but, where do you fit them? I don't know. Practice squad, maybe. That's one thing about today, man. The practice squad, you can have like 12 guys or something like that. And if you're on the practice squad, you're making good money coming out of college. So you're good. You're good. You want to get further up. There's no doubt about it. But we'll see. The 6th, 7th rounders, Cooper Hodges, nice story out of Baker County. Cool. Good for him. Look, and I'm not bagging on these guys. I wasn't drafted. I was a free agent. I was a rookie free agent. And then I was a street free agent, which is even below the rookie free agent. So you can make the team. You can have a career. We all know this. Just because you weren't drafted in the draft doesn't mean anything, or drafted low. And I'll tell you this, it's funny. When I was ready for I never thought about the money. I just thought about, I'm a third round, or the status. I'm a seventh. I got drafted. But today, you get drafted in the 6th, 7th round, you got a nice chunk of change coming your way, So it's great. It's great. I wish all these guys, there's so many of them. That Derek Parrish out of Houston, he played fullback and D-line. So he must like to smash people. I like that. I want to see him. Will they use the fullback? In this offense.
Who's the guy in Baltimore? Is it Patrick Ricardo
Ricardo.
Yeah.
He's like a 300-pound fullback.
He was like a former DL. He's a fullback, maybe something like that. Yeah,
that's a beast, man.
Get you a nice little bowling ball.
Get you, a nice lead blocker. As a former backer, they had to take on the ISO. It's not fun when they're a lot bigger than you. Let me tell you, you better bring your ass.
They're about 3'5", about 300 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. And you better get lower. They're gonna truck you, no doubt about that. But yeah, look, overall, I like Anton Harrison pick. We'll talk about in a second about him starting out at right tackle, whatever. And I like the rest. Brenton Strange to me, he's kind of the if he works out, it's great. If he doesn't, then it's not a good pick, of course. The rest, I think they're going to be. And again, don't think that special teams isn't part of this draft. It's got to be, and it is, right? So these guys that may not be starters, you're going to have to be able to run and get down on special teams and make some plays. It's going to be very critical for your career to make the team. And hey, then maybe you get a chance. Who knows, right? Guy gets hurt, you move up. You got to be ready. You always got to be ready. Always got to be closing, right? ABC, always be closing. But look, Anton Harrison, I like to pick. Starting at him at right tackle, they say, for his development. Fine. I don't really, it doesn't matter. Again, do you take him there when he played left tackle, but now he's your right? It doesn't matter to me. Does it matter to you? It shouldn't. I don't think it should matter. The 5 best linemen that give me the best chance to win and to kick the ass of the other opposing team and keep my quarterback clean and open hole. Doesn't matter to me. And good for Walker Little. He's going in the left tackle starter. What happens with Cam doesn't matter. Whatever. That's on Cam. If I play well enough, they're not just going to yank me to put in Cam.
Yeah, Walker didn't get suspended.
No, absolutely not. He's got, I tell you what, and I've said this before, Walker Little has every tool to be a really, really good tackle. Left tackle, right tackle, I don't care. Call it left since he's going to start there. He does. He's got the size, speed, the quickness. I know, look, I don't see him on game day, down in the trenches. I only see him when I see him out and about. And he's a really nice guy. I get, look, Phil Rosher, another year with that kid, he's going to be even better. But that I'm looking for personally, and that goes for the whole line. And Cam has it, is the killer instinct. Like, is he a killer? And I don't mean that, I mean figuratively. So don't get your panties in a wad out there. But is Walker Little that kind of guy? And I need that. I want that out of my offensive lineman. What do I mean by that? A guy that finishes, a guy that gets after, a guy that's not afraid. And he does. I want to see it consistently, right? And he's going to have to, and the rest of that O-line, and I think it's good next to Scherf to put Harrison, the young kid, there. And they say he's a mean guy, which I love. He finishes blocks. You lay, all you young linemen out there, lay on him, embarrass him. Nothing illegal, nothing cheap, but you make sure they know that you just knocked them on their ass and you're going to lay here for a second or two just so you feel it a little bit extra. That's the kind of offensive lineman that every offensive line coach wants to have. Mean and that nice off the field. You can be a gentleman off the field, mean and nasty on the field. So you'll talk to the old guys, when Tony Baselli was a rookie, Wydell. He was one of them, the veteran that's going to, hey, we're going to make this kid, he's got all the tools to make him even meaner and nastier than he is. And it worked, of course, the coach was a big part of that. Mike Mazur, God rest his soul, great coach, had me at BC and, of course, here in Jacksonville. But overall, I give the draft a B. B-, B. And look, it's solid. I think you got some ball players there. And now it'll be up to the team to get them ready and get them prepared and ready to transfer their game to the National Football League. Look, they don't even know either until they get them in. Okay, you don't know. Everything, all the scouting could be great. All the tape could be great. The combine, the pro day, the individual workout day, the visits, all of that could be great, but you still don't know what you have until you know. And that's when you're on the field in pads. Do I have a playmaker here? What do I have? Can he handle the game? Can he handle the emotional side of the game? Maybe in college you kicked everybody's butt because you're just bigger, stronger, and faster. And then you get to the pros and you start getting your ass kicked. And you're like, man, I don't know if I can take this, right? Or do you fight even further? Be like, okay, I have to step up my toughness, my game. You don't know that, right? That's one thing you don't know. Can they overcome the emotional side of playing in the National Football League? I know everyone thinks you just show up on Sunday, you play the game, and a few hours of practice, no big deal. It's an emotional roller coaster throughout the week and throughout the year. And sometimes it's really good and you're on a high, and sometimes it's really tough and you're not. And you got to toughen the you-know-what up and make it happen. So will these young guys do that? We'll see. I believe when Doug and Trent say we drafted with the culture in mind. I believe them. You know why I believe them? Because they kept their locker room. They kept 21 out of 22 returning starters. They know the culture they want. They know the player they want. They know what they want in the locker room, and they've just expanded into that. And they believe in that. And you know what? I'm going to trust in them as well. Caribbean Connection out by the beach.
Their picks reflect that.
I agree.
I mean, Ventrell was as good of a locker room guy as you can have in the last couple of years of Florida.
You know what I like seeing? I like seeing that none of these players, he takes a play off here. No, none of that. Because you hear it from other players. You hear it from other prospects. So Jalen Carter's been known for taking plays off. The kid DeJuan Jones been known for taking plays off. Those aren't fits. I wouldn't want them either. I mean, if I felt confident that my vets are going to kick his butt and make sure that he goes every time and he's in great shape and he's not doing stupid stuff off the field, yeah, of course. But overall, no, if I can take a kid that has got a motor, and you don't get extra credit for the motor. You know what I mean? I don't. It's like the kid that finishes his plate at dinner. You don't get extra credit. Here's your meal. Eat it. It's what mom or dad made. Eat the damn meal. Don't want to eat it? Fine. You don't get anything else. I'm not that hard. I got 3 girls. But you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have a motor in football, any sport, getting after it. But nonetheless, I like the draft class overall. And Trent Baalke says more to go to building the team. I believe him. I'm looking at a veteran pass rusher. I mean, that would just,
Leonard Floyd. Great? Frank Clark.
Oh, I mean, Leonard Floyd, if you could, Jan. I don't think Jan's coming back.
I don't think so either. But
I mean, you can't get in a beef with the ownership and then expect to come back.
I don't disagree with you, but damn, it'd be nice.
Yeah,
somebody that can beat tackles on third down consistently.
He's very good. Look, you can't take that away from Yannick Ngakoue. He can rush the passer. He's a naturally born pass rusher.
Struggled in the run game, has some attitude stuff. I get all that. But when it's 3rd and 7, damn, can that dude beat a tackle and get in the backfield?
He can, especially if the defense is set up and he doesn't have to be the sole provider of that rush. You know what I mean? I agree with you.
And he can mono.
Trust me, I'm not against. If they grab Yannick, I'd be like, come on, let's go. But I don't know how you. I don't know, Tony Khan. I've never met Tony. I got to imagine he deals with wrestlers all the time, so he could probably deal with some personalities, right? Maybe he gets over. I don't know. You just never know. You piss someone off, they could be like, no, I don't care. I don't wish him any ill will, but not going to be a part of it. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. Again, if Yannick Ngakoue became a Jag again, I'd be all for it. You also got Frank Clark. You also got Leonard Floyd.
Oh,
I mean, you kidding me?
Beasts.
Just throw him in. I don't know if you can fit him cap-wise, but I would definitely try to make that happen. I think that would, to me, that would solidify a lot. a lot. And I'm not even opposed to a Marcus Peters signing. You know, I've been talking about him, the corner. Is he a shutdown anymore? No, but he's still a physical, tough defender. So I would like that a lot. Hey, I do, not to go somber on you here, but I heard about Shaq Barrett's daughter drowning in the pool. That's so sad. Gosh, God bless them all. She's fine. She's up in heaven, but God bless Shaq and his family. That's really... As a guy that had a pool, my kids were young. There's nothing scarier than that. There can't be. There just can't be. God bless all of them. All right, let's look at the draft real quick. And Graham, please chime in if you'd like. Look, I didn't study it all the way down, but I tell you, when I look at drafts, different teams' drafts, and I see players. Now that doesn't mean because you know their name and they played well in college that they're just automatically going to play, great in the pros. But you can get a kind of an idea. Like I look at the Bills draft after Torrance, I'm not really looking. But you talk Kincaid and Torrance, that's a nice one too. And I know they got Dawson and Knox right up there. Knox is his name.
Yeah, they just paid him too.
And they just paid him. But you got another guy. I don't know. And they were there. That Jags traded out of that. Could have had Dalton Kincaid. I don't know. That obviously they
could have had Osiris.
What's that?
Could have had Osiris.
Could have had them both.
The Bills leapfrogged them in a trade in the first and second round.
Isn't that funny? Wow. Well, they knew what they wanted. I mean, you look at those two. I think you can look pretty good. Look, New England had a ton of picks too. Their top two: Christian Gonzalez, Keon White. Nice 1-2 combo. You look at the Lions draft. Now you may question Gibbs and Campbell, their first rounders. They get Laporta, the tight end from Iowa. Brian Branch, the safety, who many thought the Jags would grab at number 24. And then Hendon Hooker in the third round. Surprised he lasted that long.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. When you got Goff, you're good, right? You don't got to worry about it. But you know what? That kid's coming off an ACL.
Well, yeah,
he's got the goods. I'm telling you, he's going to be a good quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be great, like a top, but Hendon Hooker, mark my words, will be a good quarterback in the National. He'll be a starter in the National Football League at some point. He's got a lot of game that I like. The Bengals look pretty good with Miles Murphy. Added to that defensive line with Fredrickson. They lost the kid. I forget who they lost here, but that's a nice addition. DJ Turner, the DB out of Michigan. Jordan Battle, the safety out of Bama. Bengals did pretty good. Philly, I mean, how about Khalil Ringo dropping? He dropped quite a bit. Ringo was considered one of the top corners.
He didn't get picked till the fourth round.
In the game, fourth round. But Philly likes University of Georgia. They sure do, man. They got a ton of Bulldogs up there.
And they traded for DeAndre Swift, too, who went to Georgia.
Right.
Swift, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo. It's crazy.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a top program in the league. Why wouldn't you? Pitt had a good one, I thought, with Broderick Jones, Joey Porter Jr., and Darnell Washington. All should be good contributors to that team. Seattle, their first three they're really good, I think. I think Seattle. Devon Witherspoon, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Derek Hall. That's pretty strong.
I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is Jamar Chase good.
Yeah,
I think he's ridiculously good.
Yeah. Again, you're looking at Geno. Geno's the man. Will he duplicate what he did this past year? Or come close to it? If so, they should have a pretty decent year. But look, hopefully your team did all right. I really did like Deonte Banks. Giants got a good one there. I liked him as a corner. He was right there it was a wild night, that's for sure, the first night, and then definitely played out. But, hey, congrats to all. I know there's a bunch of free agents that signed, too. One thing about Doug Peterson's team, as a free agent, rookie free agent, you have a chance to make this team. There's no doubt about it. There's no they're just camp fodder. They're just bodies. You show out. Now, we've talked about this before. When you're that low on the totem pole, you don't have many opportunities. So you got to make a presence right away. I mean, right away. And I'm talking in the weight room. I'm talking in when you're running, conditioning, trying to be up front. You'll have veterans going, hey, man, take it easy. Don't listen to them. Keep going as fast and as hard as you can, because that's the way you get noticed. You know, I can remember back in 95 just trying to get as many reps as I could get. I was on the lowest end of the totem pole. When I went to training camp, I was like 5th or 6th at inside linebacker and like 7th or 8th on punt and kickoff. I was like, how the heck am I even going to make this damn team, right? But you got to keep going and keep fighting and get as many reps, even when you're tired. Even when it'll show. It'll show. And on this coaching staff, I think they value those guys that come to play every single day. That's part of the culture, no doubt about it. So good luck to all of them. I don't have you listed. Maybe next time I'll talk about the rookie free agents, because I was one. Listen, man, it's no joke. I know 93 is a lot different than 2023. 30 years. Holy, I just figured that out. 30 years ago, I was a rookie free agent. That was an eye-opener, let me tell you.
As a guy that's covered training camp the last 2 years, there's always one or two undrafted free agents where you'll have no idea who they are. You'll kind of see they get signed, and then you kind of forget who they are. And then training camp starts, and you're like, who the hell is that? There's always a guy like that.
Yeah, and listen, you do have to fight some draft status. You do.
100%.
But eventually that wanes.
Yeah.
As long as you can play ball, once you get in there, they don't care if you're a 4th rounder, a 6th rounder, a free agent. If you're standing out and you look like you're going to help their football team, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't either. This is obviously the draft's a process that's been around for a long time, right or wrong. You can clap, you can bitch, you can moan, you can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to who are the ball players that end up on the team contributing to victories.
Last year,
that's all that matters.
He didn't end up panning out here, but last year it was Lawan Winningham.
Yeah,
remember Lawan Winningham?
Yeah.
He was cooking people in practice.
Yeah.
Like at training, he was like against like Tyson Campbell and like Darius, like beating him.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that he didn't get.
Well, then it comes down to the numbered games.
100%.
And then you got contracts in the way. You can't look.
What really hurt him was Tim Jones had a phenomenal camp as well.
Yeah, but then we never saw him that much. I wonder if we'll see him. Is he still on the team?
He is as of now.
He's still on contract. Yeah.
Parker Washington's going to give him a run, though.
Yeah, he is.
That's going to be
and that's
tough.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you're one of those guys and they drafted your position, you better wake up and be like, well, they did it for a reason. Not that they don't like you, but they like this guy too, and you got to battle it out. You better start now, in that weight room. Show them what you got, what you're made of, out in the conditioning, studying, all that stuff, man. You got to be on top of your game, and when that opportunity arises, you better be ready. I'll never forget my rookie year with the Saints. And the linebacker totally took advantage of me because I never played special teams before, so I didn't really know the drill. But it was the whole field, and he was like a guard on the punt team, and I'm supposed to cover him down the field. I don't even know what I'm doing in the drill. Like it's like I've never done this before, and he smoked me. I was just embarrassing. I was just like, okay, now because what he did was he whacked me really good. Like I was expecting to just take off, but he thought, he'd catch me off guard. He whacked me really good, and I was like, whoa, and then he took off. I was like, whoa. Next thing I know, it was just gone. Then next time I was prepared. I was like, you ain't whacking me again, right? And then I did better and better. But it's those opportunities, and I didn't make that team, right? I don't know. Did that stick in their mind? I have no idea. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. And then it comes a numbers game. We're keeping 4. You're number 5, or we're keeping 4 and you're top 6. Whatever it is, it's the best in the world, in my opinion, when you make it, and it's one of the toughest things in the world when you don't make it, because you got to, everyone knows you didn't make it. You go home, your friends know.
Lord forbid you're on Hard Knocks or something, and it.
Yeah, right. Right, that makes it even worse.
Right.
You're walking through the airport. Hey, sorry, man. Yeah, whatever, buddy. But it is, and I wish all of them good luck, man, because you're chasing that dream. And I tell you another thing as I wrap up here: if you don't make it on your first try, don't give up. Took me 3 tries. And Tommy Waddle, my good friend, who's up in Chicago, played for the Bears for 9 years. He didn't make that team until it was his 3rd try. He told me, you got to give it 3 tries. That always stuck with me. And on my 3rd try, I became a Jaguar and stayed here for the rest of my life. How about them apples? Pretty damn cool. All right, that'll do it for me this time around. I hope you out there are happy with your team, and if not, I don't really care, because if you're not a Jag fan, it's whatever. It's cool. You root for your team. I'm not, I don't really have a seg. I like the Bears. I like Darnell Wright. Other than that, I don't know. That kid from Florida, he's one of those guys.
Gervon Dexter.
Yeah, that takes plays off. Doesn't play hard all the time.
They never squeezed the potential out of him.
Never got him going. Well, a lot of times
that guy physically should have been living in backfields.
Yeah.
And but you're right. He took plays off. You'd have quarters where you're like, is he even playing?
Right. You disappear, man. You can't disappear. No doubt about it. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thanks to everybody for checking it out online, of course. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all have a great day and week. We'll be back on Friday. I got a busy week. My oldest graduates from college on Saturday from Flagler College. Very proud of my Avery Ann. And my number 2, Kelsey girl, turns 19, man. It's a flash. They keep getting older. And a little bit more expensive. But that is life with being a girl dad. Until next time, you stay safe and you be cool out there. And we see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.